She's not just an award-winning dermatologist, she's an artist. Her incredible journey just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, for those of you who know me know I married up. I married the lovely Victoria Snee. She's head of marketing for Highland Park Village. She is the love of my life, and she is absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. That's porcelain skin. Well, she came back from her dermatology appointment about a month ago, and she started raving about Dr. Jill. She was like, you gotta have Dr. Jill on your show. She's not just a board-certified and award-winning dermatologist. She is an artist. And so Dr. Jill Feetham is in the studio. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and it takes a lot to impress my wife. You've been working with her for a while now, but she was just glowing, inside and out. First of all, what does that feel like when you make a patient that happy?
Oh, it's best part of my job. I really feel like dermatology is such a fun field of medicine. We get to show on the outside what sometimes is on the inside. We get to be able to help people, whether it's with a dermatologic disease or whether it's even in the aesthetic realm. So we get to have a lot of fun and make a lot of people happy. I call it happy medicine that we get to do every day.
Well, I was reading your bio, and I was struck by one thing in your bio, that it was really the loss of your aunt that caused you to go into this field. Yes. Can you share?
Yes. So my beautiful Aunt Jan, a platinum blonde for years, grew up in the age of iodine and baby oil tanning, and so unfortunately she passed away very young at the age of 46 with metastatic melanoma. It was a very fast, unfortunate progress for her, which when it went metastatic, she did not make it much longer. And so I really knew that if I wanted to go into medicine, I really wanted to be on the early stages of catching melanoma. So I have found one of the most rewarding things that I do in my practice is really trying to find skin cancers caught early. And so a lot of my week is spent doing general dermatology, and then a lot of my week is also spent doing fun cosmetic dermatology.
Wow. And when you can find melanoma early enough, it's very treatable.
Very treatable, yes. So it really, melanoma's prognosis is really based on depth. So if you're able to catch a melanoma early, if you're able to catch it within the first few millimeters or really less than a millimeter in depth, the patient's prognosis is fantastic. If it goes beyond a millimeter of depth into the dermis, then the prognosis can quite change. Luckily, we're having newer inventions coming out of medications. We're having a lot better success with some of our metastatic melanoma patients, but most of the patients we see, luckily, are an early melanoma called melanoma in situ, or a very thin melanoma, and they have a great outcome.
Sure, and thankfully our attitude about the sun has changed dramatically. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and back then you would take Crisco and put it on your body.
Absolutely, yes. I call those patients my job security. Yes, absolutely.
But thank goodness we know more now about how the skin can do damage to, or the sun can do so much damage to the skin.
Absolutely.
You have a beautiful office, and I want to put up some video, and I want you to kind of describe this office, because it doesn't feel like a doctor's office.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we actually just completed a renovation last year. We were able to expand. We're in a wonderful part of Dallas where we get just really, we service all of Dallas, but we also get mostly kind of University Park, Highland Park, Preston Hollow patients. And we really needed to expand. My founding partner, Dr. Lori Stetler, started at this location over 20 years ago, and we have just outgrown ourselves and wanted to do a little facelift so that when patients come in, they feel as excited to see us as we are to see them.
Well, I want to talk about the artistry piece, because famously, you can go to a nail salon right now and get Botox.
Unfortunately, yes.
People get these quick little weekend courses, and then all of a sudden they're administering Botox. And so let's talk about the professionalism and the artistry that you and your partners use.
Absolutely. So all three of my partners, we are all what's called a board-certified dermatologist, which means that after our undergraduate degree, we went to 4 years of medical school. We then went to 4 years of dermatology residency, where for 3 of those 4 years, we only focused on dermatology. And so really when you're being treated by us cosmetically, obviously the artistry eye is so important. And sometimes artistry eye you can teach, but really it is more of your personality and what you find to be beautiful. But really when you're coming in to seeing us, we're not just treating the cosmetic aspect. We are looking at really long-term, what's going to help you age the most gracefully. We know what it is to really treat the dermis of the skin because we know what's in the dermis. We know what happens when you overtreat the epidermis with certain things. So when you're coming in to see us for your cosmetic needs, we are also addressing general dermatology needs at the same time.
Sure.
And then really we are all teaching the next generation. We are all assistant clinical professors at UT Southwestern, where we're teaching the current residents how to go out and how to do Botox, how to do filler, and really to kind of be the masters of our cosmetic dermatology field.
Well, one of the things I can vouch for, what you do with Victoria is you can't tell that something's been done. She just looks refreshed. She looks like she's gotten some sleep.
We want you to walk out and your best friend to go, did you cut your hair? Did you lose some pounds? What happened? What happened? And they can't quite put their finger on what was done.
Yeah.
That's what we want it to be.
But we see people all the time, like their lips got overfilled or just something went wrong with the Botox.
We are in Dallas,
yes.
Right? So absolutely. I mean, again, we want patients to look natural. We want them just to feel like their best self and that they're ready for whatever events are coming up. They feel a little more confident in their daily life. But we do not want them to look like someone that they're not.
Yes. And you and your partners have won amazing awards. We're going to just pull up one of the pages off your website. And as we scroll down this, you're obviously a favorite of D Magazine, and you've been named a rising star.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes, they've been very gracious to us.
Tell us about your partners and why you love working with them.
Absolutely. So Dr. Lori Stetler is our founding partner. The very interesting story, I met her when I was applying to medical school. She interviewed me. She was one of the deciding people if I was going to get into UT Southwestern Medical School. So we instantly became very close friends and my mentor. Lori has been just renowned in Dallas community. She was one of the first to really start doing cosmetics. She is always respected among her peers, and the number of referrals that we get from other physicians has always been at the top because she just created a legacy of just being honest, of having amazing integrity, and just doing the best she can for her patients. So she's wonderful, a close friend and partner. And then my other partner, Dr. Crystal Polder, she is fantastic. She has an eye for beauty. She is strong. She will and be able to enhance anyone's beauty even more than what they expect. She is a national lecturer. She does a lot with several companies such as Allergan, and she's helping to train the next generation as well as doing research and upcoming cosmetic procedures. So very lucky to be a part of our team.
And your industry is absolutely booming, and I attribute it to two things. One, COVID, the pandemic, had us all looking at ourselves more than we've ever. And then I would add to that, and I want your comments.
The Zoom boom is what we called it. Yes, men would come in and go, did I always have this wrinkle in between my eyebrows? And we said, yes, you did. You just now see yourself expressing. Yes. And when you express, you notice those lines of expression that we want to soften.
And I want your input on this, because when I was growing up, I grew up with the Waltons and Sanford & Sons, and so you would see older people on television, but I challenge you to look at primetime TV and see older people. You just don't. Yeah. And so, therefore, the Gen Zs, and I guess the Alphas would be next, they can't even imagine themselves looking old.
Well, we are all going to get older. We need to do it gracefully. And there's some wonderful ways starting young that we can do that. I do believe this younger generation is a little hyper-focused on their outward appearance and sometimes coming in using products that were recommended from a TikTok influencer than from a dermatologist. And they're burning their skin or doing things that are not appropriate. But we're grateful that they're at least taking a concern for their
Yes.
future skin health. We're grateful that they're coming in and already wearing sunscreen, which is the best thing that they can do every day. And so it's definitely an interesting twist that we're seeing with this younger generation. Absolutely.
Well, I remember my daughter, she's now 33. She was 21. She furrowed her brow and she said, Daddy, I think I need Botox. And so I said, you do not need Botox. A baby can furrow its brow and get a wrinkle.
Absolutely. I mean, there is a certain age which is different among everyone. And so we'd like to talk about that in our consultations. Are we too early? Should we just go ahead and start doing it once a year just for a little bit of prevention? Or is it just really unnecessary? And we, many times, for many things that patients ask for, say it's not the right procedure for you. And so we will recommend something else.
Sure. And I want to pull up their Instagram page because as I started to prepare the show, you guys have just so many wonderful images. And as we scroll down the Instagram page, it just seems like a fun place to work.
Thank you. It is a fun place to work. We really get to, really honestly, in most of my patients, I treat the whole family. I know everyone from the grandparents to the grandchildren. So we have a lot of fun. We really have people that are coming to us that trust us, who are trusting us with their skin health, that are trusting us with their beauty. And so we have a lot of fun in our daily business.
Well, you're amazing, and thank you for taking such good care of my wife.
Absolutely.
We're going to end with a website, which is dallascosmeticderm.com. The great Dr. Jill Feetham. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.